Inside Ag on KTVB is sponsored by the Idaho Farm Bureau Federation, empowering Idaho agriculture.
Water is top of mind all across Idaho right now. We've talked about a low snowpack here. And in agriculture, a dry year means every drop of water matters. In today's Inside Ag, Hunter Funk sat down with a researcher at the University of Idaho who's taking a closer look at where irrigation water actually goes and how better data could help farmers make smarter decisions in dry years.
What is your research looking at right now?
Everything that has to do with water quantity, especially with irrigated agriculture. Where does the irrigation water go, essentially? As simple as that. There's multiple pathways in the soil and crop system and the atmospheric system where water could end up. So from hours to minutes to days and the full season, but also spatially within the field. How does that distribution occur? And we have models to tell us how much, right? And those models go into a lot of decision making, both at the farm scale, how to spread out water, what's available. These models come from measurements that were done in the 70s. And basically, the argument is that a lot has changed over these years, right? Including the way we irrigate these crops and also other cultural practices around crop production, including the use of newer varieties. So the idea is, can we take those numbers that we have from the 70s and models stemming from those numbers, and can we refine them?
And so you're in your second year of studying this?
Yes, this would be our second year of field monitoring.
What kind of crops or fields are you looking at right now?
We're looking at potatoes, sugar beets, grains like barley, wheat, dry beans, and then outside of the ag world, we're also looking at turf. So we're working with a sod farmer down in Nampa to understand turf grass water dynamics. We also have a lot of desert land, so we're also looking at sagebrush communities down by Hollister. Well, a newer advancement in ET measurements has been satellite remote sensing. And that's really changing how things are done.
So you're able to use satellites to be able to see a lot more than what we can necessarily see on the ground? When
now the satellites are looking at that specific field and giving you crop progress. Where is the crop right now in July 20th? How hot is it? How cool is it? And those two pieces of information are, well, believe it or not, enough to predict how much the crops are using, essentially.
Do you think that in a couple years you could be telling a potato farmer saying, hey, you can water way less, and right now we're in a crisis with water, so this is good news for that farmer?
Yes, essentially have, and the idea is not to basically pressure into using them less, but putting out models that they can use, hopefully on their phones, on their computers, to, let's say, in a year like this, when we're short, we're basically looking at the minimums that we've ever seen in the state and in southern Idaho, in the upper and the middle Snake Basins right now. So in a situation like that, how do you spread out your water? Is it better to take a deficit all season long, or is it better to have full irrigation going in and sort of take a bigger hit down the road?
Now, farmers already have access to the satellite models, but researchers are working to determine how accurate that system actually is. This research could soon show how and when farmers could limit their water use, which remains critical as Idaho faces dry years like this one.